Probably call any hand stuff out, so yeah. Super, thanks. Testing, 1, 2, testing. Come on in, everybody, come on in. I'll go this way. Hey. Once you are in the room, come on up and grab a packing list. Even if you already have one, we want you to see it again. Come grab your packing list. I put 3 piles right there of the packing list. Packing list is up front. Come grab one, even if you got one at home. I want you to look at it while we're here. The packing list. Here. Yep, you got it. Just the packing list for now. Yep, should be, yep. All right, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be awesome, and then we'll ask and answer some questions, and it'll be great. All right, if you've not yet grabbed your packing list, come grab your packing list, everybody. All right, we're gonna officially start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sweet. Welcome to the Life meeting, everybody. Here's what we're gonna do in this meeting. We're gonna talk about what's happening in a week and a half. In a week and a half, guys, it's happening. Like it's pretty awesome. So, like a week and a few days and a half. Like, yeah, it's less than 2 weeks. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm actually leaving ahead of you guys a little bit. So, but here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through packing lists one last time because I know some of you had more questions. We're gonna go through it fast, so don't worry. If you don't wanna read the whole thing, we won't. But I do wanna cover some basic stuff. We are gonna cover your rooms. We're gonna cover your airline today. We're gonna talk about all kinds of stuff. Little things that we have decided in the in-between spaces since the last time we met that we wanna make sure you guys are in the loop on. Also, before I forget, if you are not currently in our GroupMe group, you're gonna wanna scan this or grab this URL before you go. I think we added everybody, I'm pretty sure we did, but you may not check GroupMe. We are talking in GroupMe about different questions, about different things. And this week, we're gonna actually ask you a question about food. We're gonna poll you. We're gonna buy food that we want you to actually eat. Because last time, we had so much food left over, we actually made care packages and sent it up and down in the elevators. So we don't wanna do that. We don't wanna waste our food. So we actually wanna make sure we're buying the food that you guys are gonna eat. Right now, actually, Sauk Rapids is watching. Hi, Sauk Rapids, yay! Sweet. So let's do the packing list real quick. So a packing list. You will need a photo ID if you're under 18 years or older, or under 18 years old. A school ID is fine. If you are over 18, a driver's license or a state ID would work. If that doesn't work for you, if you do not have a photo driver's license, tell us tonight. We don't want to be surprised and you're stuck at an airport somewhere. So please let us know if that's an issue. Also, the day we leave, you are going to pack a lunch. Pack a Bible too. But pack a lunch. We're just going down the list. You can totally read it. Don't put any liquids in your lunch because you will get stopped at TSA. That's the security. If you don't know, they'll stop you there. Also, you're going to want that lunch to be available because they may actually ask you to take it out. They might want to look at it. They might go, is that really tuna? Like, why did you bring tuna? I don't know. They're going to want it. They do that sometimes. They actually look at your food. So make sure your lunch isn't packed down in the bottom of your bag. Make sure it is handy. Also, you're going to want that to be in a Ziploc bag. Some sort of empty, reusable water bottle, because once you get through, then you can fill it up with water, and that is yours. By the way, during the trip, we're not going to be buying water for your fridge. It is up to you to bring a water bottle that you will have with you throughout the experience. So keep that in mind. You're going to need good walking shoes and closed-toed shoes. It is more than likely that our service project will involve some sort of painting. We have yet to hear. I think we're supposed to hear this week. As soon as that is the case, I will let you know. But make sure that you have some sort of clothing that you don't mind getting grubby in and permanently stained. So keep that in mind. Honorable and modest clothing and swimwear. If you look at the other side, it is all explained. Okay, I'm not going to spend time on that right now. But ladies, take a look at it. Guys, take a look at it. Please dress with consideration for what you're wearing, and that's all I'm going to say about that. You guys can read the rest. Please do and know what's there, okay? Toiletries, because we are doing carry-ons on the Delta flight out, just make sure that any toiletries that are in your bag are the right size, 3.2 ounce or less, and put them in Ziploc bags because if they explode, you don't want to ruin your clothing. Trust me. Bible and notebook and pen. We are going to provide to all of you a very special booklet that we are creating. It has all kinds of information in it. You're going to get everything personalized to you, to our group. You're going to see all of the meeting rooms that we're going to be in. At the end of the night, we're going to have a small group time in a large meeting space, and you'll be able to be in with your groups, which is pretty cool. I'll talk to you about rooms, though, in a little bit. Medication. Please know that your group leader has to kind of know what you're taking so that they can make sure you take it. Raise your hand if you've ever forgotten to take medication and you know you were supposed to take it, and ever in your life. Come on, raise your hand. That's me. I know. Okay. So it's super easy when you have regular habits to forget. It's also super easy on a trip. So please make sure your leader knows when you're supposed to take your medication so they can help you take it. Sunblock, all that kind of stuff, hat, sunglasses. Things that build community. If you want to bring cameras, that's fine. Small card games, that's fine. But again, make sure those are all like non-digital things. Just like bring stuff that you can have a game time with. Spending money. This is, again, everything's listed there for you to spend money on. So be thinking about what you want to spend money on. I will also add this. It is super easy to blow your budget like the first and the second day. So think about budgeting during your trip. How are you going to make sure you don't kill your whole budget in the first couple of days? Please do not bring phones, smartwatches, mobile devices, tablets, electronics, and headphones, AirPods, etc. Everybody heard me say that multiple times. I'm making sure you heard it one last time so that when you show up that day, you don't secretly have something packed in your bag. Can everybody be honest about that and do it? Yes? Thumbs up, please. Thumbs up. If you're not putting your thumbs up, please put your thumb up and be honest about not bringing it. And then finally, everything on the back you can take a peek at. Again, all the phone numbers that your moms, dads will want to know, it's right there. Any questions about the packing list? That was beautifully timed. Okay. Anybody else? Packing list questions? All right. If you have a personal question, please let us know. All right. And once again, I am simply asking you to hear the heart behind this. We want to do this trip for what it's intended for. We want you guys just to be open to God. Sometimes just shutting down the distractions help with that. So please be on that, on the same page. That's the second thing I want to talk about. It is up to you if this actually happens or not. It is up to you if this actually happens or not. I don't want us to have two different groups of people on this trip. Group number one are the students. Group number two are the leaders. I'd like us to do this trip together. Here's what I mean by this. Sometimes you will see a fellow student doing something that they shouldn't be doing or having brought something they shouldn't have brought. And you think, well, I can't say anything about it because they're a fellow student and there's a leader. Please do not turn this into a student versus leader trip. Let's do this trip together. Please have the maturity and the integrity for us to trust you with that. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Yes? Because that's not usually what happens naturally unless we choose it. So it is up to you for that to happen. There are going to be students on this trip who are trying to look for everything they can do to get out of what they're supposed to be doing. If you see that, speak to them as a fellow student and say, hey, can we please just come back to what we're supposed to be doing here? You don't need to always get a leader. Sometimes you can just be the leader and speak into that. So please do that because there's some really amazing stuff on this trip. All right, next, we're going to talk about rooms and flights. Rooms and flights, yay! All right. So I'm going to tell you your room number. Everybody ready to know your room number? Ooh. Why do you need to know your room number? Because mom or dad might want to call your room. All right. On the left side of the hallway, or hang on. Well, on one side of the hallway. To me, it's the left because I'm looking at it this way. 404, these are all the beginnings. 404 are all these. 40409 is Ben Reed's group. 40409 is Ben Reed's group. Right next to him is Pete's group in 40411. So it goes Ben, and then it goes Pete. And Pete. And then there's Peter. So there's Pete, and then there's Peter. Okay? It goes Ben, then Pete, and then Peter. Look at that. It sounds like I planned that, right? So 09 is Ben, 11 is Pete, 15 is Peter. Again, 404, whatever. So 40409, 4411, 40415. And then it's Ryan, 40417. 40417 is Ryan. Then it's Shannon, 40419. 40419 is Shannon's group. And I know there are other leaders. I just have one leader's name in these. Then it's 40421 is Katie Smart's group with Maya. Then it's 40423 is Jesse's group. Stephanie Kuhn is 40425. 40425. And then Jackie is 40427. And then Lori is 40429. Sharice is 40431. And then Jen is 40433. So y'all should know who's in your room. Now, on the exact opposite side of the hallway, because we have an entire hallway to ourselves, starting at the top, so near Ben and Pete and Peter and those guys, Joshua's group, 40402. 40402. It was right next to Adam, 40404. Is right next to Brock, 40406. Is right next to my group, 40408. 40408. Is right next to Troy's group, 40410. 40410. Is right next to David's group, 40412. Is right next to Luke's group, 40414. And then it's Lynn, 40416. Then it's Audrey, 40418. And then it's Faith, 40420. And then it's our guest services ladies, 40422. And then it's Tiffany's group, 40424. Stephanie Reed, 40426. Haley's group, 40428. Mandy's group, 40430. And Sarah's group, 40432. Now, if I'm remembering this correctly, who's 40408? Me? Okay. Who's 40410? Troy. Okay. No, wait. So hang on. So 40408 and 40410. Tony and Troy's group, our rooms connect. Who's 40412? And who's 40414? Your rooms connect too. Okay. 40424 and 40426. Your rooms connect. And then 20 and 22. Your rooms connect. Okay, 20 and 22. All right, super. All right, any questions? Awesome. By the way, in our hallway, there are 2 rooms at the front end, and about 4 rooms at the back end that are other churches. And by the way, the hotel is sold out. I don't know if you know this or not. There are 800 more people signed up for the conference than they planned. They're actually using another hotel to get people to the conference at this point. So there's going to be about 6,000 people at this thing. It's a lot of people. Which is why if we can do this as a group, it's going to be amazing. But if we have a few people who are pushing back against things, it's going to be really hard. But on that note, we're going to have, every room's going to have an air mattress, and so I'm going to take care of that. I'm going to be there a couple days early, and some cool stuff happening there. We'll make sure that that's going on. Now, I need to talk to you guys about travel. Travel is going to be led by our leaders on this end. Trish is kind of in charge. I'm saying this out loud. Trish, where you at? Trish is in charge. Trish has power. Everybody feel Trish's power. Ooh, that's great. All right. And Pastor Luke. Everybody, Pastor Luke, make noise for Pastor Luke. He's watching right now. And Jen, let's give Jen some ooh and ah. Okay, so those are our three kind of primary team members. We also have Joshua and Lori on the trip who are interns, so make some noise for them. They're kind of like lieutenants. They're like lieutenants, okay? But if there's anything that is emergency level, please talk to Trish, please talk to Jen, please talk to Pastor Luke on the trip out, because it's going to get really confusing, and I want to make sure everybody catches this. You have all been randomly ticketed random seats on the Delta flight, which means if you sat in the seat that your name is attached to, you would be all over the place sitting with random people. So we actually spent literally hours playing human chess with the plane. And so I have a printout of what that looks like. And I'm gonna ask, I made a bunch of these, but not for everybody to have one, but for every row to have one. So somebody from your row come on up and grab one so that you can see who's sitting with who. There you go, there's some right there. Okay, so just make sure you got enough for your row to look at. I think there's about 60 or so. That's great. That's so good. All right, you guys watching at home, we'll post this online. All right. Let me just walk you through a few thoughts on this. Let me walk you through a few thoughts. And there are still a bunch up here if you want to grab one. Come on up and grab one if you want it. All right. So if I could walk you through this, you could all look in a group, but at least let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. Okay? Totally fine for you guys to look. But what we did is we tried to get you as close to your roommates as possible, also knowing that some of you have family members, also knowing that we want our Sauk Rapids people to integrate in, also knowing that some of you want to be around other people. And so this is our best attempt to honor everything we know, which means it may not be perfectly how you want it, but keep in mind, this is just the flight, and hopefully this works for everybody, all right? It was incredibly, incredibly difficult to put this together. Please, when you get on the plane, sit in this configuration. And if you say, well, is it a really big deal if I switch places with somebody else? Yes, it is, because I know and our team knows details that we are not going to just make public. We are trying to honor all kinds of family and relational requests. And so please just hear this. This is how we would like you to travel. Because if you suddenly are not on the plane, or if you're in the bathroom and we're like, who's in the bathroom? And we go, oh, well, we know who's sitting in that seat. Well, it turns out, Bilbin's been in the bathroom for an hour. So, sorry, he was right here. So we're like, well, who's in seat whatever? So please, that's right. So here's the deal. You are going to have to, please listen, I want to get through the meeting. You're going to have to check in with the ticket that you are given, even though that ticket will not have these seat numbers. Does everybody understand that your ticket will not have these seat numbers on it? So you get on the plane. Once you're on the plane, don't sit what your ticket says, sit what this says. So everybody just make sure you know it, and we will give this to you in the booklet that we give you that day. So keep that in mind, all right? If you have any questions about this, if you have anything we need to know, tell us afterward, but this is our plan because we want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to fly with sanity. We will have something similar on the way back, and so we will put that together, but this is for our flight out. Any questions on the ticketing process? You guys all understand, whatever ticket you have is not your actual ticket. So I'll give you an example. So Ryan Carrington is in 27D. Faith is actually sitting there on her ticket, but we are having Ryan sit there because Faith is sitting somewhere else. So it doesn't matter what's on your ticket. It matters that you sit according to this chart. Got it? Good? Sweet. Awesome. All right, we're rolling. This is great. Be thinking of any questions you have. I'm going to take those in just a moment as I go to my little cheat sheet here. And, let me talk about snacks. It is up to you to bring snacks on the trip because last time we bought a bunch of food and like I said, we had to get rid of it. So you bring your own snacks. I will tell you that Trish and the guest services ladies will have access to a van that I'm renting. They can go to Walmart if there's something specific that you need, that you get there and you go, oh no, I need something. I need Gatorade every day because of a condition. Then we can run that for you. Otherwise, it is up to you to provide your own snacks and bring those. So you need to think ahead on that. And that is a part of the packing list. Keep that in mind. Anything you're packing, just make sure that you're not bringing like gallons of Gatorade that is going to get flagged. Last but not least, I am literally right now, let's see if I can get to it, in GroupMe. So if you have GroupMe available, I'm literally right now posting a link. You can later, not now, you can later click on that link and all of the bios of everybody going on the trip, a photo, their favorite snacks. You can look at your roommates. You can see who else is going on this trip. It's all there. Photos that you gave us and photos that we had to find. So sorry if we picked the wrong photo, but that was our best attempt to find something. Somebody were like, that's me in 4th grade. Well, that's all we had, so I do apologize. But all those bios are now listed in GroupMe. Again, if you're not in GroupMe, it is right here. So log into that. We're also going to be asking you questions about breakfast. Lunch and dinner are provided. Eat your heart out at lunch and dinner. All the food you paid for is yours to eat. However, at breakfast, we know some of you don't eat breakfast, and we know that some of you only eat certain things at breakfast. We're not going to have anything refrigeratable because your refrigerators only are so big, they literally can hold like little bottles of water. So I'm sorry, to clarify, we're not doing milk and that kind of things. We may do Go-Gurt, we may do applesauce, we may do other things, but we want to ask you what you're actually going to eat. So in GroupMe tomorrow, look for a survey from us and just chime in. It'll be open for a few days and then it'll close. And then we will know what our favorite breakfast items are and we will buy accordingly. That's the food stuff. Any other questions? Did anybody apply for the student artist stage? Yes. Yeah. On Tuesday night, Adam and the Dudes are playing at Life on the student stage. So we'll put that in the schedule if you want to come watch them. All right. Last but not least, okay, this is, again, one of those things that you're either going to decide I'm going to be on the same team with or you're going to push back on. We would like you, especially with 6,000 people at this conference, 6,000 people from all over the country, 6,000 people that we don't know, we especially want to make sure that during those first few days together, we are going places together as a group. We're going to explain this in the booklet. But what this means is if you want to go somewhere, talk to your leader first and say, hey, I'd like to go to the whatever. I'd like to go see Adam and the Dudes. And can I do that? And your leader will either say, sure, I will go with you, or let me find another leader who is also going to Adam and the Dudes, and you can go do that. Don't make your own arrangements outside of your leader. Your leader does need to know where you're at. And so it's very important. Now you might be like, yes, but I'm 15, 16, 18, 19, whatever the case may be. Great, but you are choosing to go on this trip with us, and that is part of our rule for the trip. We need to know where you guys are at because this conference center for many will overwhelm you. Even if you were there last time, they've made it bigger, they've changed it. So we want to make sure that we're getting to know the space together as a group. It's not at all a reflection on what we think you can handle. It's a reflection on the fact that it's going to be an overwhelming experience those first couple of days, and we want to do it together. Now, if we can all get on the same page with that those first couple of days, we can revisit that rule and we can reset it. But I want to make sure that we start there. So please, for the first couple of days, please be where you need to be. If you say you're going in the pool, please be in the pool. If you say you're going to the bathroom, don't go to the bathroom and then go to 5 other places before you come back. Go to the bathroom, come back. Okay, it's real easy. I mean, bathroom's a bathroom. So if you have any questions about that, you can catch us on it after the meeting as well. We have 5 minutes. Any questions? Yes. Yes, great question. Check bags. So if you check a bag, it is on Delta, it is, I think on both airlines actually, it's either 30 or 35. I think it's $30 each way. So you're paying $30 to check a bag one way, and then you're paying $30 to bring it back with you as well. Keep in mind that if you are in 9th or 10th grade guys, you're traveling back on Sun Country, so the rules might be a little different for you. So if you're checking a bag on Sun Country, everything I just said may not apply to you because your carry-on bag will actually be checked under the plane on Sun Country. We don't get carry-ons on the way back with Sun Country. We get free check bags on the way back. So we get free check bags with Delta on the way there. We get free carry-on bags with Delta on the way there. We get free check bags with Sun Country on the way back. We get free carry-ons with Delta on the way back too. So bottom line is, if you're traveling on Delta both ways, you're not a 9th or 10th grade guy, then you have to pay $30 each way for your check bag. We need to know that a week before the trip. So the trip is 2 weeks from yesterday, which means by next Tuesday, we need to know if you're checking a bag. And you will pay for that. Yes? Yeah?
Remind us what time we need to be here on Tuesday.
Okay. Does anybody know what time you need to be here on Tuesday?
5:30.
You might be working off of old information. Okay. The last meeting, does anybody know what we said what time you need to be here? 6:30 is when you need to be here because 7 o'clock is when the bus is leaving. And we need to load the bus and we need to make sure you're here. So 6:30 that Tuesday. Not 6:40, not 6:50, 6:30. 6:30. Okay, yep. a.m., 6:30 a.m. that Tuesday. Yes, question? We do have flight numbers. I think we passed those out in the last one. We'll send it out again because we're going to do a big email to everybody. Yep. Any other questions that you want to ask? Big group questions. Let's listen. Yes.
What is your preference on walkie-talkie?
I asked our facility guys, and they said, let's take a pass on walkie-talkies. They felt like when we had them on the last retreat, they were actually more of a distraction. So I'm going to go with their wisdom and say, let's just take a pass. I will also say this. Please, and this is going to be in your handbook, please don't use the room numbers to prank call each other throughout the trip or some hottie from Arkansas you met and you want to, call them up. So, yes, yeah, that's a great question. Okay, other group questions? Yes. I do not know. Anybody else? Questions? Group questions? Looking, making sure we're not missing? Anything else you want to ask? Yep, in the back. Let's listen. What time does what? Oh, like at the hotel? So at the hotel, there's a very overpriced convenience store downstairs. You will spend easily $15 for frozen yogurt, okay? I think that's open late, but keep in mind, 6,000 people will be going there at the same time. So keep that in mind. I don't know what time it exactly closes, but I could find out and I'll let you guys know. Oh, by the way, those of you who like to get up and work out and exercise, those of you who like to get up and get your Starbucks, everything I said earlier about group stuff, find a leader to do it with you. Please don't go off on your own. Please don't get up and go do that stuff, all right? Other questions? All right, I got one last thing to say. You guys, please listen. I know in these meetings I have to be very fast and very intentional and structural, but let me just share my heart with you guys. I am so excited about every one of you going on this trip. I looked at your bios today slowly. I prayed for you today. I got excited for each of you today because I know a little bit about a lot of your stories. And as I looked at it, I thought, man, there's going to be something on this trip for this person. There's going to be something on this trip for this person. And for some of you, I think I might even know what it is. I don't want to say it. I don't want to be God's voice. But I also want to know that there's a lot of things that are going to happen on this trip that if you went on the last one, it's going to be very different. So I want to encourage you, please, take to heart what Joshua taught tonight. Be opening yourself up to God even now in these days. Be what we talked about last week. Be challenging each other as friends to make the most of this time. We're going to have so much fun. It's going to be awesome. We're also going to have some tears. We're going to probably have some awkward conversations as God brings stuff in you or even in your leaders. I'm also going to say this. Please give your leaders some grace. They are going to run out of steam because they have to be on all the time, and you guys don't necessarily have to. So make sure they get to go to sleep at night. It's very important. If you have a connecting room, please sleep in your room. Don't go to the other room. Okay, you sleep in your own room. We have all that, that's all on purpose. But it just gives you some space to socialize with others. You can totally hang out in the hallway. You can totally intermix. There's gonna be so much free time to do things outside of your group with other people. The hallway is our community space as well. So if you get up and you wanna play cards and you're just sitting there playing cards, and you see somebody else come on by, be like, hey, can I play with you? Get to know other people. You obviously all know a little bit about different people on this trip. Get to know some other people. We are taking like a church with us. We're not just taking a few people. We're taking what is the equivalent of the size of a lot of churches in the country. We're taking that on a trip. We get to go somewhere together. We get to come back together. So hear me say this one last time. I really, really, really am so excited for what's going to happen. The only reason that I am on the Life team is because I wanted this to be a better experience for you guys than even last time. And so we've been putting so many things together. I think it's going to be really amazing. So if I am not as available throughout the day, there's going to be 2 times that I have to be available at seminars for things. I am still available to you guys throughout the rest of the trip. I'm going to do the community service project with you guys on Friday. I'm really excited. If you want to hang out with me, please let me know. If you're like, hey, Pastor Tony, I need to have a late night chat with you about whatever, I'm totally available to you too, all right? That said, I would love to pray for this time, and then this is just going to keep happening, and I'm so excited. Thank you for all your hard work too with fundraising, but let's pray. Jesus, thank you for this trip. We don't know what's going to happen. We have guesses, we have hopes, we have desires, we have expectations. We've certainly put a lot of sweat into preparation. And there's people we want to hang out with, and there's memories we want to make, and that's all great. But Lord, right now we want to just surrender all of that to you, everything of it to you, our agendas, our desires. We just want to dump that and open our hands up to you and just ask you, how would you like to take our hand and lead each of us through this? So we pray for that to happen. We pray that because of this trip, not only are our lives changed, but this ministry is changed and deepened and that much more rooted in you. We give all of this to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Amen. All right, if you have any questions, catch me. If you are not in GroupMe, scan it. And then remember, we've got that breakfast and Bible study this Sunday. If you want to hang out, 8 to 10, come on out. Read those bios in GroupMe. Get to know your team. Yeah. No, I don't need it. I mean, you can. If you want to check a bag, you need to tell Anna. She's the one who's going to catch all that from you. What's that? Currently, masks, I don't think are required on planes, currently.